That's why we need PBS, we need a rewind, remix, maybe need a fast forward, Felix, you know how things go when a raptor shout out Flamingo, and the Baptist transform those who would never say equal, do it for the everyday people. Who are feeling so
Lion Slayer?
No, the band.
The band Lion Eyes, Lion...
Blank Lion.
Man, we will have to edit this out.
Edit this part out. Yeah. Give us 5 minutes to write down some band names, everybody.
I am Stephen Brackett. I am the host of Sounds on 29th, and I am honored to introduce my own band. We really appreciate y'all being here. Let's dance tonight. Let's sing tonight. And even our anger can make beautiful noise, and it can resonate even further if we're not singing alone. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, Ophelia's, for a wonderful venue that they are bringing once again back to life because this city needs it so much. And thank you all so much for being here. Y'all ready for a show? Warriors, we remain true. We can sway soldiers and we can break through. We can slay ogres and we can wake you. We can slay ogres and we can wake you.
Together we
remain warriors and we remain true.
Together we
can slay soldiers and we can break through.
So wake up, we cannot stay alive. They say we're headed for hate.
Hands high.
Together we shine, together we shine. Think of my folks, together divine. The line. It was my hope, this is the sign. Making the justice, rush quick. If we struggle, we shall have justice. Soul to soul to remain cold. Everyone singing the same song. Raising our voice with the love of a mother, reminding the soul that we stand strong. And we gon' be alright. Don't be no neon lights. No, we believe we have reached the show. Deep beneath these ancient zone. We just reach the future home. To be released, here in the street. We pledge to a flag yet to unfurl. We are building up a new world.
Colorado, we need to celebrate the fact that we are here, that we are thinking, and nothing can stop our ability to love one another. Hands up, yeah! Selling the puzzle, we think we are preaching cancer. Not telling the truth, just speaking in secrets, mantras, anthems. What's wrong with the music? I can't let them see it. Phantoms, singing songs so long, no, I do not believe in the cheat, and I got no choice but to be saddle up and hop along. Home says that I'm marching on, shocking all with a marker call, cause the sharpest shot is the hardest fall. My land I'm walking on, doesn't matter who I'm marching on. We follow the laws of rule breakers, paint brush more in blackface with a B&B at down my G. Everybody's at the Maverick, getting on thought for that wounded knee, cause heroes need no backspace. From the cross to the lynching tree,
auction to penitentiary,
barbershop to the symphony.
We are here.
No enemies, we are here. No enemies, we are here. It was meant to be
like a high noon,
and we're facing our fears
like a centerpiece of a typhoon.
And we're still in the battle.
Still in the battle.
We remain warriors.
We remain true.
We can sway soldiers.
We can break through.
We can slay ogres.
We can wake you. Together we shine.
We remain warriors and we remain true.
Together we shine.
We can slay soldiers and we can break through.
Together we shine.
We can slay ogres and we can wake you.
Together we shine.
Together we climb.
Together we strive.
Together we rise.
Divided we fall.
What is up, guys?
Oh, nothing much.
Hey,
how you doing, brother?
I'm enjoying myself. This is a very meta kind of interview because we're all in the actual same band. So Jamie, we've known each other since
10 years old.
Yeah, so I was in 4th, you in 5th. Is that accurate? Can you talk to me a little bit about how like a white boy from Nacogdoches, Texas falls in love with hip hop in the 80s and into the 90s and like what that was like navigating that space.
So I kind of came to hip hop, I think, the way a whole lot of people did, which is just through hearing songs on the radio. Some of the first songs I heard were, Young MC, Supersonic. Some of these songs that might even be seen as like these kind of corporate songs, these songs that had made it big in the late 80s. And I was always into writing. I always think of myself, even less as like early days, I didn't identify as a musician, but I like to write. I like to write poetry, I like to write stories. And then I remember, we all were kind of messing around, trying to start writing raps. And something about like being able to take the experience you'd had in a day, you have a day where like that one moment you replay, you're like, because I think we're both kind of perfectionists. And so you have a moment, some interaction, and you're like, that went wrong. I'm gonna write about that thing that went wrong in a way that rhymes, lines up perfectly, and is sort of this like finished sculpture. And once that had happened, it's like I fixed reality. Like, yeah, I'm in a timeline where one thing went wrong, but I made this rhyme that made sense of it, and I don't want to go back now because I have this product. So it was that organic relationship with it felt so clear to me. And then I think it was mainly even in college where I started to think about like, well, the origins of hip hop being in the South Bronx, being this like creative, multiracial response to oppression, to racism, to poverty, that there was kind of this like decision point, like, all right, this is clearly I'm not of this culture that created it. However, it came to me like millions of people through the airwaves, and now it's become so organically an art form that makes sense. Do I say, okay, this is not mine, I'll walk away from it? Or do I say, I'm gonna listen much more closely to what's being said, what's being asked of me, how I can contribute, not just creatively and aesthetically, because we can all do that, but what do we do to participate in addressing the conditions that people were facing and are still facing who like help to create the art form? So how do you kind of give back, not just to the art form, but sort of amplify the messages and play a role in it that is actually respects like, the differences in different backgrounds. And I think like, it soon became very clear, and I think to a lot of us at the same time, like there's a call to action in this music. And so, yeah, I often will say like it was the post-Ice, pre-M era. So yeah, I was thinking about, okay, I'm a white rapper, what does that mean? But at the same time, millions of other people were thinking the same thing. And yeah, the missing piece was to be active in other ways too, I think.
Y'all wanna hear a brand new one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 last naked rain. Can't find landmines, neighbors complain. Crazy become lakes, now the lake is in flames. I'm not looking for my favorite things on the crash course. Clown car staking the name. Swear to God, dare to call the sacred profane. Declare the clock trap, flow breaks in the veins. I'm moving underground, making it rain while the crowd spars. In the tunnel now, velocity growing. Hey, can't look away, curiosity slowing. A new formation, a uniform, plain clothes, all in the same boat. I'll follow the rainbow. I'm riding in my rental, trucking all the central, rocking all the angles, jumping all the singles. Got my bombs, I make them hop along amongst the pencil. Looking for my kinfolk. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Dollar stores today, I'm feeling it. Monocles are labels, I'm feeling it. Scallops for whales, till I'm feeling it. From monocles and nails, carpal tunnel syndrome. Dollar stores today, I'm feeling it. Monocles and labels, I'm feeling it. Scallops for whales, I'm feeling it. From monocles and nails, carpal tunnel syndrome. Hit up with that intro, then I begin slow. Then the little prince and gentlemen since go. Filling out my senses, counting my sheep, moving like mountains and creatures, looking around from a kid road. Send smoke signals and drove, trust within the words. 21st century blown up in the word. When adversity, hot shit turned toxic. Prophets split open, false idols melt down, colossus. Still, man, can't be too cautious. My hand around a raw fish, standing in galoshes. Water levels obnoxious, pipelines and leak loose faucets. And oh my God, the leader's lost it. It floats away, what am I supposed to say? The coast is clear, but no boats today. Our propeller go leap frog hopkins, and a ripple and rock skip to throw stones away.
With nowhere to hide. Get your hands up! Get your hands up! Come on, come on!
Just want
Come on!
to know you're alive.
Clap your hands like this!
Dollar stores today, I'm feeling it. Monocles 103. I'm hiding under benches, running from the damn heat. I don't wanna end up in another stampede, and I'm wondering, does anybody understand me? I said the temperature's 103. I need a little lemonade from the canteen. My ex-woman went away from the hand cream. My ex-woman went away. We are not so different, you and I. Come on, listen to me, this computer died from a movie I was disillusioned by. Now we're just connected, so I whisper to the sky. Wanna see God's glory. Love and thunder, bust and loose, lift it up to Zeus. This type of happy ending doesn't come from a soup. There must be something I can do, parking like a goose while I'm rolling down my window. Crumple up your suits. Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Kenny,
Yes.
you have been in Denver for how long?
My whole life, you know.
So like north side, till you die.
Born and raised in North Denver.
Something that we haven't actually had much chance to talk about just in general, and I don't think a lot of people know about when it comes to like the history of Denver. Can you just talk about like your experience and the bands you've played with, and then like especially from like the north side and what that music scene has been like over the years?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, the scene was early back then. It was really vibrant. You know, I started playing drums in the local music scene in 1989. You know, so it's been a while now. What's that?
Perfectly reasonable year
Yeah,
to be doing things.
35 years. You know. And the scene back then was a lot of fun. It was a really like DIY. There was a lot of competition because there weren't a whole lot of clubs to play at, you know. But we made our way. We played at a lot of community centers and.
What was the first band? Who was we back then?
Yeah.
My first band was called Phantasmorgasm.
Nice.
Like Phantasm Orgasm. Yes, oh indeed, yeah, for the kids, you know. I really cherish those times, you know. I was very fortunate to have musicians who, you know, I had just started playing drums. The musicians I was playing with had been playing for a while. And for them to grant me that space to learn my instrument and play with them, you know, was special indeed. And I owe a lot to a lot of those musicians I came up with, you know, again, just giving me the space to be me and play drums.
All right, so Phantasmorgasm to...
Then after that, there was a band called NOA, D-Town Brown, which was it was kind of like what Flobots does. It was hip hop with a live band. From there, I did a band called Tribanga. I was in a band called Window Pane.
Wait a second, I don't think I've heard of Tribanga.
You know, I think if
Window Pane?
Window Pane, yeah.
P-A-N-E or P-A-I-N?
P-A-N-E.
Okay.
You know, it's, I think it
How do you normally spell window pane?
Without the I.
yeah, I think, but that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it would have been like more emo, like, okay.
It's funny, I think I had a plan when I first started playing drums. So like in 5 years, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna make it big. And then the 5 years came and passed, 10 years, 15, 20, you know. But the thing was, I just kept at it because I loved doing it until I, you know, ran into you guys. And I guess the rest is history, so to speak.
Absolutely, I mean, I think it was once you became a member of the band, it was kind of like the final piece, and that's when things really started changing for us sonically and everything.
I've been traveling the land from gravel into sand, not knowing I'm going, never having any plans. Anything I want, I had to grab it in advance. Abracadabra, there's a rabbit in my hands, cause I got the magic stick, bust the baddest tricks, fish for a whale, brought a ship up out of it. What's that I just saw? A platypus? Maybe it's a rat crawling flat on his paws, or maybe dragon just dragging his claws. It doesn't really matter because it's Saturday, so look that way, 3 o'clock matinee. Let's collaborate, and I'll pay you back soon with your crazy rap tune. But for now I'm just gazing at the mountains, 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 gazing at the mountains. Gazing at the mountains, gazing at the mountains, gazing at the mountains, gazing at the mountains,
our sidewalks busted eventually. I sit still at the bottom of the sea. Brainwaves chill like I see an enemy. Sentient entity, let the spirit into me. Patient, pervasive, how I was meant to be. A stone worn smooth by the swift currents of chaos. A place to lay a thicker in your lush moss. I'm parlaying on my day off, floating way off on my thought balloons, stacking on macaroons. But for now I'm just gazing at the moon. Gazing at the now I'm just gazing at the moon. Gazing at the now I'm just gazing at the moon. Gazing at the now I'm just gazing at the moon.
Who would we consider to be some of the bands that like we came up with here in Denver? And like what were those relationships like? And then like what venues did those take place in? Like how would you like paint that map?
Well, I mean, some of our very first shows ever were with Bob Schism at Bender's Tavern, and I think like Andy's experience, our guitar player Andy Guerrero, just like coming up in the music business realm and learning how to do this. I remember coming back from college when Flobots was just starting, and Andy gave me a job putting up posters, and I'll never forget like the pride he took in all of the tiniest details of putting up posters. It was amazing. He was like, this is how you make sure that the coffee shops like are glad you showed up, because if you take down the old posters, then they don't have to do it. You want to tape it diagonally so that it comes off easily. If you tape it this way, it's not going to come up. I mean, every single little tip that he gave me was like these tiny, crucial, essential tools of the craft that indicated this like dedication to it. So anyway, like the fact that he laid that groundwork and we could sort of plug in, that was a big one.
The way I found the Flobot Circle was through Andy. He was my in. Our bands in the early 2000s used to play together. Bob Schism and I was playing in a band at that time called Woolly Bugger that had Mike Free. Yeah, Woolly Bugger is it's a fishing lure.
Yeah.
You guys have some names.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have a name.
And Andy was a big fan of the singer of Woolly Bugger, Mike Friesen, who used to play in Psychedelic Zombies, this really storied funk rock band, very popular here in the late 90s.
I think Herman's was the first place where we suddenly started to have people that were like hey, though we're not our friends,
Yes.
right? I remember being like, all right, so did you see those 5 people up front? Whose friends were those? And they're like, they weren't my friends. They weren't my friends. Wait a second. Was that anybody's friends? We have fans. We have actual fans.
Because
Nobody knows those 5 people?
I think that maybe a lot of folks don't understand that maybe for bands, like for a while, a lot of times it's like, it's the people that you've directly called and asked as a favor to come to your show.
Will you come to the show?
Flicker of a light in an empty home. There's bickering at night and you end up cold. I wanna let the right brain retain control. The rhyme inspires most when it's 5 minutes old. There's a feeling that I get when it's sad and it's gray. Reminds me of times way back in the day. They wouldn't call me back, they didn't want to play. They wouldn't call me back, they didn't want to play. They wouldn't call me back. I asked my stepmother, does it ever go away? So I sent her you a message with text that doesn't really say it to SOS. Yes, so I guess that I pressed those numbers to summer for a presto. Grow less number, looking for words, spring into summer. I wonder if you would lay around like lumber. Support me like a thunder, paying attention to my pain and tension. We all have forces pulling us under, but somewhere beneath this world torn asunder. We smell the storm before the thunder and bring angels down to earth like thunder. When it hurts, the loneliness bursts like hunger. So why don't you tell them about the loneliness? 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 Tell them. Why don't you tell them about the loneliness? 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 Where did my joy go? Chewing daddy's favors, hiding from the light. With this basement as my base, the opposite of the smiling face. As I pile on disgraces and say amazing grace to chase down whatever this taste is. I'm a tweeter with a blown cone, wonder where my base is. Drawn to you on the path of pencil, promising we'll meet inside erasers. And praises to Raphael and Saint Rita. I tried to breathe and gasp, tried to seize the mask and breathe the last. Don't even ask if you can counsel me. I'm a lone wolf, so I wear wolf like anthropy. Cut connections with reverence. I slither in and severance. I wanna be the boy who lived but never had no trust again. I must admit, busted lips, I've sunken ships and rusted bridges. Cussed low to the quick and lost myself to split decisions. Multiplied by my divisions, round down for the placement. Who's he? Just me, alone in the basement. Why don't you tell him about the loneliness? Why don't you tell him about the loneliness? Why don't you tell him about the loneliness? Why don't you tell them 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 about the loneliness?
Who are folks in our lives in the music scene that we'd love to give a shout out to? And just want to take some time to big up some folks.
You know, I was in high school my senior year. I wasn't a great student. I didn't have a plan for college. I was intimidated by a lot of the drummers, the incredible drummers at North, but I didn't want to take up drums there, you know, because I was just, there's like an intimidation factor showing up at in a drum class with some sticks, not knowing what I was going to do. So I kind of I'm like, I don't know if this is in the cards for me to play drums, but I want to be around music. I want to play, I want to just be around it. So I took a class at a career education center, an audio engineering class with Mr. Hall. And he was just the hippest, coolest teacher. You know, he kind of was like kind of reminded me of Kenny Loggins, you know, he had the beard. But he was like, he understood the kids that were coming in were not just wanting to learn how to record music, but wanting to do their music. That's why they were there. Like, I want to learn how to record my music. So I could sit behind a drum set and play a boom, bap type of thing. And when it came time for my group of 4 to record a band, we didn't have a band to record. So we talked to Mr. Hall. It's like, hey, me and Toby, Toby has some riffs and I want to play drums then. Can we just record that? Can we let, my cousin and another friend, Dave, record us? And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. So we go and me and Toby play his riffs, and I go back into the control room to hear what we had done. And when I heard myself back, I'm like, that is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I am going to play drums. I don't care if I had just turned 18. This is what I want to do. And as soon as I graduated high school, my father helped me finance a drum kit, and it was on. And so I have those people to thank, Mr. Hall, that allowed me. When I heard myself back, it was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. And to think us 3 have been doing this. Flobots is where we got our 20-year anniversary. Yeah. And I've been with the band for 18 years, and it's the longest I've ever done anything, any one thing. Really. And it's. To do it with a family, what I consider family, friends, this group of people, it's special. I wouldn't change anything.
The worst part about this is that you're gonna miss people. Of course. But I feel like the people I feel especially grateful for are people who, like, at key moments when I was doing things wrong, were like, hey, you can't do things this way, and but had patience and saw the promise. And so I'm actually thinking even outside music. I remember just in the world of activism in college. So people who had patience like that. But also, people like Vincent Harding, both who kind of were both his adopted nephews. People who I'm thinking early on, people like Dent, who I would just witness, D-E-N-T, the time or two where I just walk in the room and just see him freestyling. Even Constant Elevation. I came back from Denver and Caitlin and these folks were Bugaboo. Rest in peace, Twain. Just some of the folks that haven't come back from college coming back to here and see there's this vibrant scene that is underway. Life Crew, just Denver's own hieroglyphics crew, basically, the diversity of their musical styles. So I remember coming back 2004 and just being like, oh, there's something incredible here.
How they tossed the dice. It had to be simpler back in the day when our folks were pretty certain they could find something. One now, none of it's a sign. We just want a day when the devil blinded up. Look at your number and wonder if I should call you up. Or a message, I'm in a mess up with text that doesn't belong to me. But it would ease my mind to know what the songs I'm singing are in a key that you can comprehend. Into with the thoughts you're pondering. If so, we get most out wondering if men be together like Donner and Blitzen. But already here came decide. It's like when you came in, became alive. It's like everything else was a glimpse of you. Give a hint to clues of where your name resides. Now that I'm down to a strange divide, tell us do all the blame, fear, pain, and pride. No matter who calls and eventually die. Get a message, say we're staying aside. Cause I imagine you and me can make music beautifully. To make moves, never lose the beat. I can imagine the food that we choose to eat. I see it all like a view from a movie scene. I can imagine you and me never knew the week, but never more than a few degrees. How good it would prove to be. But the waiting is over, I'll fight it down. Loving nobody but you for all my life. For we to be toss the dice eventually the snake eyes fell a tragedy and I released unhappily this magic now a fantasy. There's another one for me than you and some other one for you than me, and that's the way it has to be. And
An uncompleted masterpiece, the needed campus atrophy. Cut by another after me, a silent wound whose lips confess. Love lost under love's duress, a curse confessing, hoping then reverse the blessing. Empty nesters, hollow hope won't coalesce. Regret she won't from holy chest. As best remote emotions pull from cavities, growing depth. I have it easy knowing this. Together we will never fit. So I'd rather by my mind with pride than by my eyes and sever.
When do you think that Flobots stopped sucking and started becoming a good band? Because I think a lot of the times, like, when you're starting a band, like, you're not good. It takes a while to figure it out.
Early on when I joined, it's like, I think the band was still finding its voice. When we talk about all the bands we played with, I think the reason why we were able to not match up as a lineup, a show lineup, is that we were very diverse. You know, not only we were rapping, but it was with rock, and you know, there was just a bunch of different styles underneath that allowed us to, you know.
Yeah, well, having a viola player who's classically trained and in jazz, and then Jesse, the original bassist, kind of coming from like a kind of Chili Peppers kind of background, and then Andy, who's coming from a kind of like ska and funk Tower of Power kind of background, and then like me and Jamie kind of coming from this like backpack rapper type thing, and then you coming from this. I felt like maybe you kind of had like the most broad experience, because I think you'd also been playing longer than all of us, but I think also in many ways, like Andy was the one who kind of like help us codify like what the band was and how we were marketed and like the sound and like bringing the music business. I feel like you were the one who kind of helped us synthesize all of the different elements into one thing.
So I have two answers, and neither one of them answers your question.
Do it.
But the first pivotal moment was, I think, after just about a year of you and I deciding, like, okay, let's start rapping again. Let's bring back kind of our high school Flobots.
And wait, real quick, when did we start rapping?
So we started rapping like in your basement, just with a group of goofballs in high school in 1995, 1996. And then I remember it was like the summer of one of those 2 years that became like our actual project, getting recording songs in people's basements. And then literally every summer or winter break, starting like senior year of high school, throughout college, every single time I remember we were working on something. So there was these early cassettes and early kind of attempts with not much live performance at all. But when we really started in earnest in 2004, there was like a year of just like experimenting. It was you and I and Mackenzie and various DJs. And then it was the time when Andy said, hey, look, I remember it was October 9th, 2004. It was a Rock the Vote show. And Andy's like, let me just put together a band. And I was like, all right, well, let's try this. And I remember that show, just seeing the reaction of people in the audience, like, oh, I saw friends of ours. Like, I remember seeing April, and she's just like immediately moving. She's a dancer, but still. I was like, people weren't moving like that last time when it was just a DJ, and you know, I got it. I'm like, all right, so it has to be a live band. It has to be live music is what moves people, like physically moves people, kind of instantaneously. And it helped that there was incredible musicians in that live band. So that was the first pivotal moment. The second one was more like when I felt our calling congealed, and it was Peace Jam 2006, when there's a gathering of, the largest gathering of Nobel Peace Laureates in the United States ever. 10 Nobel Peace Laureates coming to University of Denver. We got asked to perform there. It felt like all these relationships, all these like mission-driven things we've been doing, these efforts.
And we were invited there. This is before like any record deal.
Right.
This is for our community.
Yeah,
connection.
we were just a band in Denver trying to get gigs, but also find kind of our purpose. And we had done this project with a teacher at Littleton High School that had involved us having a lot of conversation back and forth with students there, writing them about the music. So we'd had this sort of sense like maybe there's more substance to music than just playing the show and writing the songs. That was already in the air. But I remember playing that Peace Jam show, and it was just sort of like transformative for, I think, pretty much everybody. I mean, I remember people like kind of tearing up and just saying, I can't handle all this. This is overwhelming how like powerful this feeling is. And so that, I don't know whether we musically congealed, but I think the spirit of I think everyone was transformed by that and was clear that this is a mission-driven band.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars. Look at me, hands in the air like it's good to be alive. And I'm a famous rapper, even when the path's rock crookedy. I can show you how to do-si-do, I can show you how to scratch a record. I can take apart the remote control, and I can almost put it back together. I can tie-dye in a cherry sip, I can tell you about Leif Erikson. I know all the words to take colores, and I'm proud to be an American. Me and my friend Charles Platypus, me and my friend made a comic book, and guess how long it took? I can't do anything that I want, cause look, I can keep the rhythm with no metronome. No metronome, no metronome. And I can see your face on the telephone, on the telephone, on the telephone. Look at me, just called to say that it's good to be alive in such a small world. I'm all curled up to a book to read. I can make money, open up a thrift store. I can make a living off a magazine. I can design an engine 64 miles from a gallon of gasoline. I can make you antibiotics. I can make computers survive aquatic conditions. I know how to run the business. I can make you one of my product movers, shakers, and producers. Me and my friends understand the future. I see the strength to control the system. I can do anything with no resistance, cause I can see in nature with the microphone, with the microphone, with the microphone. And I can split the atoms of a molecule, of a molecule, of a molecule. Wait a second, y'all. So here's the thing. We wrote that song 15 years ago, more than that. And at the time, we wanted to share this knowledge that these gifts, these tools of ours could be corrupted, could be transformed, could be made into destructive items. But 15 years later, that feels all too easy to say. I think we all know that, don't we? I think we know how destructiveness can be. So I feel like it's time to go further. Y'all feel me? I feel like we need to take it to the next level. Let me tell you this. Look at me, look at you, surrounded by polarization. Does it feel so good to be alive? Your reach is global. Your message is loud and clear. Your cause is noble. You're here. You can flood these streets with demonstrations. Overthrow with administration. Breathe new life in a generation. Save us all from disintegration. Rediscover how to speak your language. Heal the block until the streets are dangerous. Change the virus so it's not contagious. Make liars are locked in cages. You can build alternatives to prison doors. You can find forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself. Witness the risen Lord. You can channel power from a different source. You can bring us all back from the brink and stop the civil war from the killing floor. And you can save this planet from the Holocaust. From a Holocaust. From a Holocaust. Yes, you can save the planet from a Holocaust. From a Holocaust. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars. So let's save it.
I have some questions for you. What is it you can do with music that you can't do through other art forms?
I think like if you look at Silicon Valley and you look at like the billions, almost like trillions of dollars that have been gone into social media and generated from it, all of this technology is being used to find ways to connect people and then monetize it. There's a technology that human beings have had for millennia, even before the agricultural revolution, that brought people together in a genuine way, and nothing does it better, cheaper, and faster than music. Coming from education, from activism, at all these different points, and even like running the music school that I am now and helping folks get music therapy, there's an actual magic of being able to connect people through their hearts, that even a well-crafted argument can only link people through their minds.
Right.
So like it's just the best way possible to get everybody on the same resonance. It will take me hours to read enough pages on a book to change my emotional state. It might take 90 minutes in a movie. I can get halfway through a song that's 2 minutes long and already be moved. And so looking at it as a kind of technology and looking at a point in time where like so many people are feeling so disconnected, I'm even more enamored with the discipline, the power, and the technology of music right now.
And what's a song that you either sing to yourself or play to yourself when no one else is around to actually like change your state of mind?
Oh man, there's a song in the 5 Heartbeats that my mother used to sing, and it's I feel like going on, I feel like going on, even though trials come on every hand, I feel like going on. It's gonna make me tear up, but yeah, that one always gives me strength. And it's a great way to remember my mother as well. And with Flobots, it's one of the things that I hope and endeavor to be able to write songs that can be strong for people in weak places.
Echo, echo, one now. Hear the call through phone lines. Smoke signals, old rhymes. Shorter lights and storm signs. Spelled and broken code. Find that it is time to breathe, build, bend, and refine you. We Scots and let's give it all, but won't give up radio. So antennas, radio. The live spirits. Call sign commando. Remote is independent. Scream till the walls fall. Dissolve all the limits. Occupy minds, unemployed skills, desolation. Worn out, torn down, just for now. Thrill seekers, slang, test, babies and beakers. When gun blast pump, just from the speakers. The system where the poor get pulled. You pay to hold the ladder where the rich get big. The shade into the stratosphere. And in between people are rushing like Vladimir with medals to make the status clear. Get us out of here. We need heroes, build them. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with our hope and our hearts and our hands. Be the architects of our last stand. We need heroes, build them. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with our hope and our hearts and our hands. Be the architects of our last stand. There is a war going on for your mind. Those who seek to occupy it will stop at nothing. The battlefield is everywhere. There are no civilians, there are no sanctuaries. You have 2 choices: surrender or embrace. What kind
kind of person are you? Always the first to argue, or never down to stick your neck out, cause I hurt you far too much to see your rep suffer, set you up a buffer. Well, neither is enough for a cut from a tougher brand. Ducking the propaganda, stuck on us like soccer jammers. Feel like a virus, prove accepted thoughts in proper manner. Put on the camera, so the simmer in a grunt, the man about to bubble up and knock the lid off of the pots of pain.
Non-stop chugger, non-stop cigarettes, fit manifestos about terabytes and gigawatts. Chop paradigms, kick sense to a score. Throw our thoughts through the sky and activate 20 more. In these high and dry times, expect a rate on dogma. Pragmatic sycophants, divide and conquer. We build bridges off for hard work and prosperous. Handmade heroes brought to you by no sponsors. We need heroes, build them. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with me, fight with me, fight with me. Two hands, with the architect, fight like that. Two hands, we need heroes, build them. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with me, fight with me, fight with me. Two hands, fight with the architect, fight like that. Tales and musty halos, tangle with the roots of weeping willows. See what pain goes, cause they know what flows, what creeps in the dirt. We go flow for flow when we keep in the hurt. We grow heroes, push our lead through the dirt. If you believe in your worth, then you believe in the work. We need heroes, build them. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with me, fight with me, fight with me. Two hands, fight with the architect, fight like that. Two hands. Don't put your fists up, build them. Fight with me, fight with me, fight with me. Two hands, fight with the architect, fight like this.
Gather up your bronze, your silver, your aluminum. Melt it down, melt it down, melt it down.
We're wrapping up and all those things. I just want to give a second to shout out y'all. And I also want to give a special shout out to Andy, who's come up so often in this. And he's often one of the people who be in these interviews. But I wanted actually an opportunity just for us to be like, Andy, thank you for all the things that you've brought to the band and how much effort that's gone into it. And then also another shout out to Sean Blanchard, who is currently in the ICU right now. And we have Matt playing bass for him today, but just want to shout out Sean as like a member of this band and all the things that he brings to us, and we just like our thoughts are with him.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And shout out Sarah,
Yes.
our violin player for the last 10 years probably. Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care, but that isn't fair. Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care, but we're the circle in the square. Ha! Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care, we're the circle in the square. Ha! Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care, we're our time has come. We show them how, what can't be done. No matter what they say or they don't say, we make a way out of no way. Against the gun, beneath the veil, yes we can, too big to fail. We are the ones we're waiting for. We save ourselves, praise the Lord.
We fly in the family, stone in calamity. Rhyming the thumb to the dome of these Goliaths. And promise me compliance, and then we'll take the science. The band of Django, and we know it in the science.
Thundering excitement, never know disguises. The marriage of the stars that we track like enterprises.
Of candlelight revival, and how we lit the blindfold. We ended Revelation, like it was the Bible.
Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. We're the circle in the square. Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. We're the circle in the square. Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. We're the circle in the square. Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. We're the circle in the square. We are the circle in the square air. We breathe air, the same as the ones who didn't prepare. Don't be scared, whatever time it was when you began. The clock is now 11:55 on the big hand. So you're invited into the circle that we sleep in. Invited to depend on friendships we depend to uncover the secrets and the never bleep it. The treasure map we pretend we do not believe it. Show us how to party in the process. Rally like a rock star. Yalla, yalla, Allahu Akbar. Not put down your ego. Foster all the people. El Pueblo Unido. Ambassador vencido. Party in the process. Rally like a rock star. Yalla, yalla, Allahu Akbar. Not put down your ego. Foster all the people. El Pueblo Unido. Ambassador vencido. All right, y'all, let's try it all together here. Here we go. We're the circle in the square. 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 We make a way out of no way. We make a way out of no way. We make a way out of no way. Way out of no way. Way out of no way.
We are the nightlife.
We make a way out of no way.
We are the nightlife.
We make a way out of no way.
We are the nightlife. We are the nightlife. We are the nightlife. We are the nightlife. We are the nightlife bearers for night terrors. We are the group dreamers, vision seekers, and pallbearers. In the aftermath of light errors, blood type and marrow to the bone nose. And be open to plowshares for balance in the balance beam. Pulling seams from battle scene. Tapestries and ravenous advocates for smaller teeth. Pop the bubbles of crystal schemes. We are the sleepwalkers for stalled dreams. Hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. Yeah, hands in the air, President, Prime Minister. They said that we didn't care. We're the circle in the square. 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 Thank you, Ophelias. Sunning in the warm weather by the light of distant moons. Their statement inundation bring the monsoon. Seasoned with the spectacle of people finding tools. Appetite has grown, rules, empires have sown fools. Let's throw out the cravings and things with no use. People driving jewels, gyms can't shine like a highlight. The air is human, so the sky is our birthright. In my mind I hold the passion, panacea for the poison. My bruised and battered body washes up upon the shore. Sin flees from leaking wounds like rats from sinking ships. As I float off to forever with these words upon my lips. No, I never asked for nothing, and that's just what I got. As my pride dies before I do, as I fall I'm also gone. I wasted many days chasing automatic gleaming strength. As I fold into your presence, do I now know what it means? In my mind I hold the passion, panacea for the poison. My bruised and battered body washes up upon the shore. Sin flees from leaking wounds like rats from sinking ships. As I float off to forever with these words upon my lips.
If you enjoyed watching Sounds on 29th, we hope you'll support PBS 12 to help bring you more fun, grassroots local music programming. Visit pbs12.org/program support and donate today.